Well, here they come, a shipload of fears and ambitions and misconceptions, all hidden behind the faces of many nationalities. This ship, like more than 10 others, comes to Australia, well, more than 10 of them come every month, and on board roughly 1,000 people on each ship. They've all come to this country to settle, to find a new home. What do they think they're going to find? Well, that's what we're going to investigate now. First of all, your country.
Pardon?
What is your country?
Lebanon, Tripoli, Lebanon.
Why have you decided to come to Australia?
Well, I come to Australia to see my daughter. And because I am grandfather, I see my daughter and his girl, the small one.
And will you stay here?
I don't think so. If my daughter, she like to go with me, she and his husband, well, we go back. Then if she don't like to come, then I send a letter to my wife and my son, and we come stay here in Sydney.
Well, what do you expect if you do live in this country? Will you be able to better yourself in some way, do you think?
I think so, because it is my country, it is good country, and we have some job there, and nice places.
That's this country, you mean?
I mean my country, it is a good one, and Sydney good too, and I like all the Australian peoples.
What sort of work do you do?
Oh, maybe mechanic, because my job it is mechanic.
And do you think that in this country you'd get a higher standard of living than...
I don't know, because this is the first time I come to this country.
And you haven't troubled to find out particularly?
I think so, if I want to still here, if I want to still. But you excuse me, because I am not good English, because I leave this school before 24 years.
Excuse me, other people have been telling me about why they've left Europe and are coming to Australia. Would you mind telling me?
Yes, well, we decided, I haven't been married very long, we decided that we'd like to come over to Australia for the experience more than anything.
For the experience only?
First of all, we wanted to see something else of the rest of the world, and we thought, well, we talked about going to Australia for a long time, and then an advert came up for a job, and it seemed the best thing.
Well, what about giving me a bit of a picture of what you expect to find here? Will there be kangaroos in the streets, do you think?
No, I don't think so. No, well, we're going to Canberra, and we understand this is a very modern city, and very clean, a bit cold in places.
What sort of a picture do you have of this country? Perhaps you could tell me.
Well, it's not exactly only the landscape, but also the waterscape, if there's a word like that. You see, I'm a diver. I think I will be very fascinated by the reef, and of course also by the tropical parts of Australia in the north. Maybe I can earn enough to buy a car and have a look at all those places.
And what about the countryside? Do you expect to be seeing all kinds of animals? And
I hope so, yes.
what sort of animals?
Of course, kangaroo, but well, it's all sorts of insects and snakes, reptiles, and so on. It's not only those animals which I know from the zoo.
Do you have any fears about coming here, that you might have done the wrong thing?
None at all, no.
I want to have my baby in Australia.
Just one more. Well, you don't know. We've never been in Australia. I want to have a baby in Australia.
This is the remarkable thing. Why?
Well, you see, my children will be brought up in Australia, so I want them to be Australian.
What experience have you had of the country?
Oh, I have been already been last year in Australia. Bob, you remember when we have do the film Weird Mob with Walter Chiari?
They're a weird mob.
Yeah,
filming
they
that.
are weird mob. Sorry, my English not very good now. But for 3 months I never speak English. Anyway, in 2 weeks maybe my English will be better.
But
So-
the important thing is that you've come out here because you think there's a better life here.
I think so for my children. They have more freedom in Australia, more than they had in Italy.
Now, how do you know that?
Well, I've heard about it, and Paolo's told me. I take his word for that.
What has he told you?
He's told me that there's more outdoor life for children, there's more freedom. They don't stay with their parents all day long in the house like they do in Italy, and therefore they're unspoilt. They have a natural life.
No, she would like do house in Australia with a garden, because in either not everybody would have possibly have a house with a garden, put children in a garden and play, have good hair, because you need a lot of children living all day in the house. When they go out, like, when you open the door, like a dog go out, quickly go, And she would like have a house with garden, put the children in the garden, play, have a free life for the baby, natural life.
Well, why did you leave Germany? What did it not have?
Oh, in Germany you must work and work and work, and you have nothing. You see not what you have for what you work. But you take much money, and so you have a room, and it's much money too. And I find peoples from Germany. It's so. She think all this girl is not in the first class in the leave. Also cannot come with us on the.
And what about the Australian men? What have you seen or thought of them so far?
It's a very cavalier. Cavalier, what's it in English?
Polite?
Gentleman, and see not so. She find her different. To speak with all peoples, and I see it now. I think the Australian man must sound big. I don't know, so I not see too much.
Why did your mother and father go to England?
It's not me. Daddy wanted to go to England. It was my mum, because she's the one who thought it would be nice to be having a big family. When she got there, she didn't like it at all.
And what about your dad? Did he like it?
No, he's always in bed. He never comes down to tea.
Didn't he?
No, I didn't like it at all, because he's always, my grandma always cooks and meat and sausages and all that. That's all she cooks every day.
Did you find it a bit cold as well?
Yeah, I didn't like the snow.
And where do you live here in Australia? What part? Brisbane, was it, or did you say?
Brisbane, yeah.
Where it's hot. And what about your mummy and dad? Are they glad that they're back here?
Yeah,
And you too?
yeah.
Got any friends left here?
Yes, I got lots here.
So you're excited to be back?
Yeah.
What do you call yourself? Are you an Australian or an Englishman, or what do you reckon you are?
Englishman.
An Englishman? But you don't like England?
I know I was born in England, my mum was born in England, my dad was born in England.
When will you become an Australian, do you think?
Don't know.
Porco cane, ma 100 gradi, signore.